up a chair, let the real talk flow. Life got lessons, yeah, we letting them show. From the highs to the lows, we keep it true. Real men, real life, welcome to Table for Two. Table for Two.
I love how we bring that music in. Royce Mosley, you doing an amazing job. That song is so beautiful. But hello once again, you all. WFTB 104.1 FM, Tab Nashville Gospel Radio is the host of the Table for Two on tonight.
Yes,
also, y'all, the sponsor, Sacrificial Conversation. You know, that's the recording YouTube channel. But y'all, tonight we're coming back with the second episode of Table for Two, y'all. We want to let you know how excited we are. Last time that we did this, y'all, we had a little technical difficulties and we weren't able to let you all know what this was for and how this thing got started. So tonight we're going to reintroduce ourselves to everyone, let you all know why we came together, why we're doing this, and how we actually came up with this name, Table for Two. So me and this brother, we've been knowing each other a long time, y'all. Me and this brother go all the way back to high school, and we're both now in our 50s, okay? So that's over 30-something years of knowing each other personally as friends. You know, we grew up, we never had a beef with each other, but we were competitive against each other, though, because he was on one side of the tracks and I was on the other side of the tracks, and we would come together and battle and dance and step. And it was so many things that me and Raymond battled against. If it was basketball, if it was, I'm gonna even throw out singing, bro, because you was in groups, I was in groups.
Right.
Go, jump in, bro. Jump in, talk to us, and let
Ted and I go way back. Again, we talk about history, just kind of some of the Nashville history as well. You know, back in the day, I was stepping. That thing was real deep in the culture. Back in our high school days, and man, it was prevalent, you know, throughout the city. And so you had almost every high school in the side of town actually had a stepping group. So again, just growing up singing, you know, him and his brothers and stuff like that, and some of the groups and quartets and, you know, choirs and stuff. And we actually came together. I actually done some background vocals on that. Some of the other stuff as well.
A couple of albums. We done a lot of stuff together, bro. I think about, I mean, we can go to Youth United. I know we sung at a couple of concerts together. I mean, y'all, we really did the church thing, the gospel thing, the entertainment thing, you know, everything that we're going to talk about, our clothing. We always tried to dress and tried to, you know, bring our vibe, flavor, our swag to what's going on. Right. And like I say, we were competitive, but we never, ever had a conflict or a battle with each other where we wouldn't still.
It's just mutual respect.
Yeah. That's what we've had.
Mutual respect,
And y'all, we've been just rapping with each other, and we're doing a lot of things. And my boy came and he was like, Ted, I wrote a book. I was like, my boy done something that I wanted to do in my life, and for you to be an author now, man, I was like, my boy done went to the next level of what's going on in his life, and he's an author now. I'm an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. Anything that God tells me to do now, y'all, I'm gonna do it. I started a clothing line, and I don't care if nobody buy a single piece of clothing as long as I can wear my own stuff, right?
Come on, man.
So those are some of the things, y'all, that's brought us together. But we want to put out some positive stuff about black men, because it's a stigma, y'all. It's a stigma on black men, and we've seen so much, like in our lifetime, just happen, even what's going on today, just in today. But I'm going to start something out like this. I want to throw this out here real quick. Everyone wants the black man's rhythm. They want our slang. They want our fashion. They want our swagger. They want our music. They want our athleticism. They want our creativity. But what happens when the same black men who created those cultures walk into a room full of a different race, a room full of women? When we walk in those type of rooms, after they see our culture and they see what we bring to the table, you know, on TV, you know, they see what we bring to the table in the entertainment world, in the sports industry. But when we walk in rooms and this we said we was gonna bring some serious topics, and this topic is really when you came to me with this name, give us the name first, right? Because give us the name of our topic, because I'm going too far.
If week 2 is they love our culture, but they hate our color.
Wow.
And so me and Ted was going back and forth last week, like, man, what's the topic? We got the topic, we need a title for it. And I said, man, what about this? And he said, man, that's it. And I said, that's it.
That was hard, man. When you brought that love our culture but hate our color, y'all, I was like, man, with what's going on and what the temperature is in the world today, y'all, this speaks a lot of volume. But we're not gonna, you know, put so much negativity towards it, but we want to speak to y'all because
speak to the truth. Though.
Yeah, because y'all gotta understand. And I'm gonna throw this first question out to you, right? When did you first realize that when you walked into a room as a black man that it was different or you felt a certain way?
I felt I've been in many different spaces, again, just, you know, even from school, college. But it does bring us a sense of how people perceive you to be, right? Just as a black man, they don't know who I am, right? But I'm a black man in this room full of different people who don't look like me, right?
Right.
And knowing the stigma that may be, because again, I got a question because I don't know, you know, how you perceive me or see me, right? As a man, am I coming in in a way that, hey, I'm equal, right? Or am I less than? Right. And so now you may have these prejudice, right, things in your mind or certain, you know, things that you may think about me just because of my color.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now I don't even know that. And so imagine walking in with the unknown. I don't know what I need. I don't know if you're a friend or a foe. Right. For no reason. Right. You don't even know me, but that's my first hurdle. Right. Is to determine in my mind, if I don't have confidence in myself, right? If I didn't know who I am,
that's good.
If I didn't believe in who I was, that's why I say those men that typically do, you got to build confidence in what yourself and who you are and why you're in that room. And you have to say to yourself, I belong. And now that helps push all that negative, maybe pressure or feeling that you may have in that room. But they feel when you have a confidence too.
I like what you said, because I try my best, you all, and every day of my life I try to make sure that I take care of my appearance first.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, and this is what it's done to me as a black man. It's made me realize that every place that I walk into, my appearance, the way I look, the way my clothes are laying on my body, the way my face is, you know, shaved and everything, I bring an appearance, because that's the first thing that people, they see you first.
Right.
So when I walk into a room, I want to make sure that they respect my appearance first. And that's one of the triggers that I had, because when I was younger and when I came 20 years old and I walked in some places and I would walk in there with my jogs on or something,
right,
they would look at me like, okay, is he coming?
Hood, ghetto, like he's gonna rob me, right?
Like I'm a robber.
What are your intentions?
Exactly.
Right. What's your intentions?
That was one of the first stigmas that when I was able to start taking care of my appearance, I said, well, everywhere I go now, I want to make sure that I look a certain way, so don't no one be scared of me from just my appearance. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. We have to worry about just when someone looks at us.
It's the basic. Because something I can't change.
Something I can't change.
I'm black, and I'm always going to be black.
Man.
And I can't change it, so now that's a negative thing against me in this world. Right? And you can't help but understand how it makes you feel or beats you down as a human, right?
Man.
If you're someone who truly has compassion and empathy in your heart, right? If you truly have that, and knowing, listen to me, and knowing that the other people around you are not like that, or you can be judged in a negative way just because of the color of your skin, man, that from a person who has empathy, right, who has humility, right, and humanity and all these type of positive things within them naturally, to know that, man, you hate me just because of the color of my skin, that's an emotional That's an emotional state that can put you in and take you to a whole nother space, man.
And then it even goes even deeper, because after the appearance, first we got to deal with the appearance first. Mm-hmm. Then we got to wonder, okay, then are they fearful? They like, sometimes you be like, are they fearful of my confidence or how I walk in the room? Because I'm walking too strong. I'm walking too strong. I'm walking in everywhere I'm walking with my chest up, my head up, and some places I might go and it's only people in authorities, like authoritative people that I feel like take that and may look at me and be like, okay, he too confident, or that's he being aggressive. He thinks he's all that. Yeah,
he thinks he's all that.
Or I'm aggressive because I'm confident. No, I'm just everywhere I go, I'm going to hold my head up because I know who I am as a African American young man. I know who I am in America and in this world. So I'm going to walk around like that, and I'm going to exude greatness everywhere I go. I'm going to give you confidence. So that's the next thing I got to deal with. Somebody scared of my confidence, or like I'm better than, because I'm,
and don't have no height to you.
Woo, boy, that
don't have no height to you, right? You know, you 6 foot and over, right? Big old black man coming in. Who is this, right? That's an instant negative, thought that may come through. And people say that. I heard people say that, man, you can be intimidated, right? Just by your size and, stuff like that. Man, everybody know me, I'm cool, right? I'm cool as the other side of the pillow. But again, that's that
stigma that they put on,
that's that perception, right? Yeah. That America, the world, I ain't gonna say America, the world, we see how Argentina treated black people in this World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all watched the World Cup and all that stuff, but them Argentinians ain't nothing to mess with, man.
Wow.
And I say that, I experienced that. I was in Florida that weekend. This Argentina restaurant. They had I guess it was a match that night, right? They had this on the beach and stuff like this, and they had the restaurant and whatnot, and they looked at us like we was crazy because we wanted to come in. This is God's honest truth, man. This was 2 weeks ago. And I felt that. I was like, man, they tripping. Right, and I'm gonna get mad real quick. You won't see that other side, right? Because you ain't gonna mistreat me because of the color of my skin. But I felt that in that space in that moment, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So, and these was all of them had the Argentina jerseys, soccer jerseys on, and so I seen what it was, but I couldn't connect it to like why they tripping. Then once I seen all this stuff on TV and how they was doing, there it was.
Wow.
There it was.
So it's amazing though, y'all. They celebrate all our athletes. The talk of the town is my boy done went to the 76ers. That's all everybody talking about.
LeBron James.
They celebrating him like crazy. They should.
Like
because
they should.
I'm gonna follow LeBron wherever he go.
Hey, man.
That's my guy.
He's everybody that know me.
He's my GOAT.
Know me.
He's my GOAT.
Everybody
I can
know
give
me.
you a lot of reasons
know
for
me.
that. But they celebrate LeBron like he's they call him a king.
King
okay.
James. Mm-hmm.
You think about all the athletes that get celebrated. You think about all the singers, the
entertainers, yes.
The Chris Brown concert last night I heard was amazing on Saturday night. 60,000 people.
Yes, sir.
And it was 60,000 of mixed, it was mixed cultures out there.
Yes, sir.
So, all of this is celebrated to the point to where even Michael Jackson, y'all, when I looked at that movie, y'all, people cried. It was different cultures crying.
Falling out, passing out.
Over Michael Jackson. Okay. But when we flip the page and you put us in different arenas, different atmospheres where we're not entertainers or we're not this, we're perceived as something different, man. That thing right there has baffled me for all my life, is how do they celebrate us so much in our culture and in our fashion, even our language.
Right.
Yeah. You know,
the swag, like you said before, the swag, our language. Like I said, our music, right? I'm talking about across the world. I'm not just talking about here in America. I'm talking about across the world, the effect that Black culture has on the world. And like I said before, we're celebrated in reference to that celebrate our culture, celebrated, but the color itself is still demonized. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
It's still demonized and looked down on, right? If you look at all the Black celebrities and all Martin Luther King, all these type of people, Michael Jackson, James Brown, they're still, when you separate the music from the man or the color, they'll take them down in a minute.
Take them down. And we've seen a lot of them get taken down.
They'll take them down as much as loved as Michael Jackson was. When they separate the music from the Black man, right, doing something wrong, oh, they's ready to hang him.
Man.
They's ready to hang him. James Brown, right?
Wow.
If you think of every Black celebrity that was on that level, political, musical, whatever it looks like, Bill Cosby, right?
I think about my boy Bill a lot, and we don't condone you all doing nothing a woman
by no means.
Get her out of her elements to where you can take control. So we're not condoning anything done wrong to women, y'all. But in the same token, Bill Cosby was not treated fairly in what he went through, because he was one of the biggest African-American men that was trying to make a difference out here in his latter life, and they shut Bill down, man.
You know why? Because he had too much power, and he was trying to get more power.
Bro, I was going to go to that. Come on, man.
He was trying to get more. If I ain't mistaken, he was trying to buy a TV, NBC, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah.
He was that close. And what they say, they're going to come together. This is the way it is. That's one thing about our culture, which is I hate.
Yeah.
We don't stick together.
Yeah.
We do. If I don't like you, I'm going to find somebody else that don't like you, and we're going to team up against you.
But the thing, let me say to that, because we're going to come back to that. Keep that thought in your mind. Let's stay where we were talking about, because we're going to come back to that unification thing, bro. We got to speak to that before we get off the air tonight. But stay where you were staying with on the bill, on how they just took them down and everything. Because the reason why I was saying is that, why is it so much that y'all they love for us to entertain, but they hate when we have power, man. And that's I want to let's stay right there for a minute. Why did you love my entertaining you, but if I got power, they hated Barack?
because they see, again, the perception, they see the color beneath and less than. They see it in a sense, but they also see it as power and unity. Listen to me. So you go back and you talk about, oh my God, it's the history and how when coming out of, slavery and things like that, when the blacks came together, right? It's going to come up in a minute, some of these things I'm trying to think about. But when we came together as a Black culture and a community, when we built schools and we were self-sufficient, we became self-sufficient, right? We had our own doctors, we had our own schools, we were self-sufficient, right? And so now, again, the white man at that time saw we didn't need y'all. We can be self-sufficient, right? That was power, right? And so what they came in to do, they came in and destroyed all these Black cities. Y'all go back and do some research, and I'll think of some in a minute. But they understand the power we have if we do this. I mean, history would tell you, and history in America knows that if the Black man ever come together and work together, they seen it in real time, right? This was back in the 50s and 60s. They seen it in real time, what it can do. So imagine now what that thing looks like. So what they have to do, they have to be intentional to keep us separated. They have to be intentional. Nothing's done in America when it comes to Black culture to keep us divided. When you talk about the music, when you talk about television, right? You talk about stuff like that. Television means this. It tells you a vision if you don't have one of your own. So everything you see on TV is negative, right? When it comes to the Black man, right? And so again, that's intentional. But we have to understand that culturally as a whole. Man, I'm telling you, man, if we ever come back together like we were, powerful.
All right, I'm gonna speak to that, okay? Because I'm getting very irritated when we keep on saying if we never come together. If we got to take that word "if" out of the equation because we have the ability to come together. Boy.
Yeah, we got the ability.
Well, haven't we not come together?
Right, but I said like this: they don't care about 2 or 3 people coming together.
I agree, not 2 or 3, but in those 2 or 3, it's supposed to go out and grow.
Right.
You know,
it's supposed to span
and if we do that, but the thing is, we don't stay connected enough, man. We don't continue the process. We think that we're supposed to have one event or come together one time, and then next thing you know, we won't get together until next year.
Right.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying about the unification, but we got to look inward now, man. It's
inward. It's inward. Like I said, the tools on the outside, but we have to be able to ignore those outside, right? We have to have enough logical conversations, right? Enough conversation within ourselves, and not allow those outside tools. Because a lot of times I see stuff and be like, well, first thing they say, well, it ain't me. It don't bother me.
Right.
It don't hit home for me.
Right.
So it don't bother me. But it's bothering the black culture.
Yeah.
But it don't necessarily bother me. That's where the division comes in. And so that's the problem. Again, I can get 100 people on board, but if I got 1,000 that's against, right, that the America and everything outside that is controlling that 1,000, right? The 1,000 black people, and we got 100 that's coming together. They care about that 1,000. That 100, y'all ain't got enough right now. Y'all not powerful enough.
I agree we're not powerful enough, but this has been my thing, man. Let's change each other's mindset first, okay? And get brothers to start thinking a little different about just their day-to-day life and what they're doing on their day-to-day journeys, because I promise you, bro, we start in our homes and then let it just migrate outside of our homes into our churches, then from our churches into our communities, bro. I believe that we can do this thing again, even on a small level, on a small scale, because it's definitely going to be needed. We have to take care of each other's mental and especially our youth, man, because we got to protect them. We got to mentor them. We got to be the ones to correct our young black men and the men. Like, I'm sharpening iron, bro.
Yes, sir. For sure.
If I'm letting you in my space, you gonna get sharpened.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be in my space and not be sharpened. I'm gonna give as much as you. You know, I'm not coming to a relationship with my brothers or my woman, my lady. I'm giving. It's a give and take thing when it comes to relationships with me, and I think that might be the additive that we need to put back into it. You got to come with something. You got to be bringing something to the table. You can't.
You got to, but then to open mind, again, it goes back to one of the sayings I always have: getting it right versus being right.
Okay.
A lot of times, if you get a lot of strong people in a room, right, with egos, right, you're gonna have a lot of clash. If you don't have somebody who wants to or who's able to bend, right, or to shift to get it right, that's our issue. Everybody wants to, and I've seen it so many times in my community, me dealing within the community with black people, just situation. They don't want to see you do better than them.
That's deep right there, man. Because I think that's a lot of the problems is we don't want to see our brothers excelling or
doing better than me. No, you okay? You can do good, but as long as you're not doing better than me.
And see, that's totally against what my belief, man. I want you to be doing better than me. I love to see my brothers growing and excelling and having, and I want every person that I'm connected with to grow and prosper.
To grow.
So I don't even know. I know how it was put into us. It was put into us from slavery, from back. I get all that, man.
Sir.
But it's a new day for me, man. And the only reason why I say it this way is because when you go through a situation, bro, and you done been here, what I'm finna say, when you go through a situation where you done almost lost life,
yeah,
it becomes bigger now, man.
Itself.
man, I look at things so much differently now, man, because of that situation.
Right.
So I look at a lot of different guys, Dr. Umar on social media. I look at a lot of different guys that's trying to do that and bring the black culture together to help us to understand some things. But like I say, man, we got to do our job ourselves, right? And I think this is going to be the start, man, of a lot of it, man. And this the connections that me and you are gaining, man. We're gaining, so we got to take the charge and do what we got to do, bro. We got to do what we got to do.
God already know. He put me and saved me and allowed me to continue to be here on earth. And I already know I have a purpose. And so with all that being said, I don't mind doing any of that, right? But again, I want to get it right versus being right.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to be able to come together, man, on some. And it's just, and not on a small scale. The only way we make change is the bigger scale, right? The more we want to try to bring people in. We want subscribers, right? We want to be able to people to be able to, comment, right, on our posts and stuff like that. Engagement, right? We want to bring people on, if it's events or something that we can do, right? Collective, something, a word or something that we can get out to help move, right? Move the culture forward, right? Move togetherness forward, right? Move unity forward. I know for a fact that's me and you.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Without a doubt.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man, so real quick, so we talking about those self-sufficient black communities back in the day. And a lot of you guys may know this. You got Black Wall Street, right? That was Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Self-sufficient black community. If y'all don't know, go look up Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, right? Which happened in Florida. And East St. Louis, Illinois, they had something as well. So, man, go back and look. And that's why America, especially America, ensures that we stay separate. We have to stay separate because they seen in a small bit, if we ever come together, how much power we have. Not only that, man, the black community, I think, only represents less than, 35 to 40% of America. But they are the number one spenders, right, in America.
Yeah.
Man, you know how much power that is.
Hey, it's in our dollars, and the crazy part is, like I say, we want to look the part. We don't. That's our problem.
That's our problem.
We want to look good.
That's our problem.
Drive good, and
that's our problem.
But you got to understand when you've never had. It's been embedded into us because we've always grew up not having the things, not being able to live in the nice houses. So it's come, our turn, and that's why, but that's the wrong mentality to have, But I want to get back into a couple of things about just the black culture, and I want to ask you a quick question, Roman. What's one of the most misunderstood things that you think this about a black man? What's one of the most misunderstood thing about a black man that we can put out there that you think about?
There's a lot of good black fathers. I think that's the biggest, right? Father, a black man being a father. I think I probably, out of all the men, being honest, I probably know out of 100%, maybe 10, 15%, I could say, oh, dude, you tripping, right? I would consider not a good dad. The rest of the cats I know, they take care of the business.
That's good, man.
Right, they take care of business. So, I mean, that would be the best, the biggest thing that I see and I hear all the time, even from our own black women.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And I ain't speaking from the outside. I'm speaking from within our own culture. Right? I always, what I tell them? Choose better.
Wow. That's hey. That hit home right there. It's in your choices sometimes.
It's in your choices, man. We got to be accountable for what we do or what we don't do sometimes. And stop blaming everybody else.
Blaming everybody else, but you chose what you knew you didn't need.
You chose. You chose this thing, right? And then two, what are you doing better to try to make it work versus adding fuel to the fire? Right.
That's gonna be a whole nother topic, y'all. We gonna dive into that thing right there because I think a lot of women don't understand. That's another topic, bro.
Okay, that's something else. We're gonna we're gonna have a woman on.
Yeah, we're
gonna have a couple of women in.
A couple of women in on that one.
On that.
So let's leave that one alone. Let me answer this question right here. Something black boys aren't told enough of. What is something you think black men are not told enough of?
That they are loved.
I knew that was coming. Man, listen, when you think about and wait a minute, and I'm not talking about, overly, hugging them, and that's not affection. Ain't bad either, right? They need to be affected. They need to know showing what it looks like. So a lot of times, again, I want to get in that subject too, but showing love and affection, right? It's okay, right? It's okay to be affectionate, but then too, it's the way of balance, right? You can't have teach a man, a black boy, not to be able to show emotions, not show love. But then as he gets older, you expect him to have it, right, and show it. Where's he getting it from if he hasn't been taught that, right? Yeah. We have to be logical and understand what that looks like. Yes. So, and I'm gonna dive in on that one. It's amazing. When I see a family and they've nourished their sons correctly. Now I'm gonna say correctly because you have to give a son the same thing you give a daughter. Some of us overly give our daughters more love, because they're softer. We feel like you don't want to hurt them. They need to, yeah. And then we're so hard on our young boys. I was hard on my son, man, but I always came back and showed him love. And the one thing that I always showed him is that I'm going to always be available for you to conversate or have a conversation with. And I think that's one thing that a black man needs to know is that you're not out here by yourself. Right. Because it was a lot of times, and I can say it was a lot of times I grew up and I felt alone in the house full of people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Man. Yeah. Felt alone.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a house full. Right. I'm talking about two sisters, mother, stepmother, father, brother, and I'm in there, and I didn't even.
Your needs weren't getting met.
I didn't have conversations, unless I had them outside with my friends, and I think that's one thing that we need to give black, young men more of is when you're in the home with them. Give them the conversation. Sit down with them and make sure that you dialogue with them. Make sure you show them the emotional side, and especially if fathers hug your sons.
Come on, man.
People think that's that may help them understand their masculinity because there's nothing wrong with hugging your son. But we ain't saying we don't want them to be
sleeping in bed with you hanging. Come on, baby. Man, get on in your own bed.
Get on in your own bed.
Get on up out of here, man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Get on.
That's my spot, man. Get on up in your room.
But hey, I don't have no dapping them, loving them, or if he going through something emotionally, you have conversations and talk to him. But we done just made this thing to where don't show black boys no love. Don't make them
affection. Right? They can't show emotions. Again, that hurts. That hurts. Like I said, throughout that's a generational thing too. That's a generation throughout culture. Right? We can't show these feelings. We can't show these emotions. But then when they get older, again, now your boyfriend, your husband, he ain't showing you no emotions, right? But then you telling him he can't or shouldn't. Right, men don't do that. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with this?
Wow.
So when I go left, right, or when I shut down, right. So again, because I didn't have an outlet, right, as a man, I didn't have an outlet as a young man, as a boy, I didn't have an outlet. Because I was told, man, suck it up. No, it's gonna come out at some point, and it ain't gonna be good when it come out.
Wow, boy,
it's not. Man, I want to get into something real quick before you go into it.
Yeah.
So we talk about cultural appreciation. But then it becomes cultural exploitation. Right? And we can go way back through history and see how the African culture was stolen. I think about stuff like this all the time. Like, can we actually go back to say what our culture is?
We can't.
We cannot because it was stolen.
Right.
It was stolen.
Like me and you don't know what that look like.
Black culture, Black American culture don't know what that look like.
I agree with you, bro.
So when I go to these other countries like Mexico or even China, and you see the culture, right? It goes back thousands of years.
Yeah.
Our culture was stolen,
Wow.
right? It was stolen or hidden, right? Or rewritten, right? To look like something else. That's another part. Again, you talk about the emotional, right, state that Black people have went through. If you sit about and think about it, what we went through as a culture, right? And what we went through and came through. And what's scary too about us is that even through all the stuff we been through, and we still good.
We ain't. That's why
They
we
scared.
hate it, man. Because we still.
Man.
I rise. No, I'm tripping. Don't get me started.
Imagine having that same.
I rise, boy.
Imagine having that same playing field from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Imagine what we could be better if we come together. But imagine through everything we've been through, history, without knowing our history, we had to create our own history, right? Man, think about that. How deep that is. But again, it comes from the people, right? It comes from why we're hated so much, why we're demonized so much, why we're always a threat. Think about this. I always use this analogy too. All these countries in the world, right? You got these smaller countries, right? You got these probably, I can't remember how many countries in the world. I think it's a lot of them. I'd say 50, 60, maybe 70, 80. I don't know. That's how many different countries there are in the world. But you only hear about 4 or 5 of them, right? And why do you hear about 4 or 5 of them? Because those are the threats. Right? These other cultures, I don't talk about you. I don't care nothing about you because you're not a threat to me. But if you're China, right? Russia's really powerful. These other powerful, they're our biggest threat. Not these small countries. So why they attack us so much? We're the biggest threat.
Wow.
To who you are. We're the biggest threat to your power.
Wow. Because if we had equal playing fields, bro.
They know. They know, baby. They know.
If we had equal playing fields, bro. And you all know we talking about what equal playing fields out there, y'all. So
everything equal. Give me my mule and how many acres we supposed to get?
Look, hey.
What's a mule? What was they supposed to give us?
I know it's an acre of land. I know that's one
That's
of
a
them.
mule and something.
Yeah.
One. Give me that. If you give everybody that they supposed to get, man, come on, baby.
But hey, you got to really, and I ain't even finna go here, but I'm gonna dive off into it because you said an acre. We don't really own, y'all. America is fictitious. We don't own nothing in America, y'all. We'll never own nothing in America. I hate to say it that way, but we will never own nothing in America. So you better learn how to play the game. Right. This is a game, bro.
Oh, yes.
This is a game.
A game that we don't. You can't win a game if you don't understand it. I don't know the rules. I'm gonna lose every time.
You're gonna lose every time.
If I don't know the rules, better study. And you better study your opponent too.
Whew. This thing got real thick up in here, man. I'm gonna take another turn, man. What responsibilities do Black fathers and older Black men have to reach back and prepare the next generation, right?
I think some of the older things or how they was done don't work now, right? I think because, again, times and situations dictated how I had to father you. So they're different now, right? So if respect, right? Some of those foundational things, right? Respect, honesty, right? Integrity, like those type of things, I think are universal and they can travel through time after time. But it's hard to say, what a Black man did back in the 50s and 60s ain't gonna work now, right? And so I would say, hey, I can't tell you how to be a man, but I can tell you how to be honest, right? I can tell you what integrity looks like. I can tell you those things to be the best version of yourself. I can tell you to be the best dad, to be the best brother, and to be the best husband, right, that you can be. Now, but then too, I'm still going to give it through my experience. So what does that look like?
I definitely love what you said. You're going to give him to through your experience. But my thing is, you said something key. trust. I think that's one thing that fathers have to do with their children and with their young boys now is make sure that they get that trust factor built with with your son and stuff first, so they understand. Okay, my daddy, I can trust my father. I know he's gonna show up. I know he's gonna be there, and that's how you build trust. Is because you ain't building trust because you saying you paying the bills. Because that's your job on your priestly job. That's what your
right.
biblical job is to do
Right.
that. But my thing is, I think we need to build a trust factor to let them know I'm gonna always be there. And we were talking about before the show got started, me, you, and DeMarco, we were talking about the Shy. I got to bring this into the picture again, y'all, because the Shy really, really ended the season well, y'all. And I saw so much black fatherhood that impressed me. This was the first time I saw black fatherhood in a long time impress me on a series or a TV show, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Emmett Washington, that brother, he really, really showed his love as a father, and then it even made his father better.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right.
Go ahead.
You know
ahead,
why?
bro.
Because again, he saw the example. Exposure is everything.
Yeah.
And then you got to be open-minded to, again, if you got that in you, to get it right versus being right, then things are going to creep in to your psychic, right, into your mind without you even thinking about it, because you see it, and if you naturally connect to it, it's going to connect, right? Because I went around don't mean I was a bad dad. Again, situations, circumstances may dictate what that looks like. But if I can see it, ooh, this feels good to me, right? I want to experience this too. Right, as you spoke about Emmett, like I said, he became the dad and the man that people will want to be and or want to mimic, because again now he's starting to have kids, right? Even though his daddy wasn't XYZ, right? Wasn't there, but again that's why I always say what's in you is what's in you. I don't have to see it on some situations, right? I don't have to see it to know that's what I want, right? Because again, Emmett didn't have no example.
Yeah.
It was just in him, right? He wanted to be a better dad.
Yeah.
He wanted to, right? So that was naturally in him. So he did those things. He made mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
and Emmett really impressed me, y'all, because I saw how his son didn't trust him at first when he first had to bring him back and take him in his. But Emmett really, really showed him, okay, I'm going to be here no matter what you go through. And I think that's one thing that's missing in black fatherhood is that we don't show our sons that I'm going to be there regardless of what you go through. I don't care if it's small, I'm going to be there. If it's big, I'm going to be there. You know what I'm saying? That's for girls and boys, but mostly for black men, y'all. We as fathers have to show them, hey, I'm there.
I'm there regardless, right? And it speaks to as well, I thought in my head, that he became the example as well.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
And we can say don't do, parents period do that, but don't do XYZ. Don't go around smoking weed and drinking, but I'm going to be in the living room doing it, right? No, you can't do that, right? You're misleading. You got to be that example. I cannot talk. You got some, Will. You said, you got kids and say, hey, don't do it, they ain't going to do it. And you got the other one, well, you doing it.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
We have to be the example.
Yeah.
Right across the board.
But even in that, I'm gonna discuss that with them because I don't care what they have to go through. If they do smoke, I'm gonna talk to them and let them know, because Raymond, I smoke. I ain't gonna sit on this platform and tell you I smoked marijuana in my youthful days and as an adult.
Right.
But I'm not going to down him and not, talk to my child if he goes through that situation. Almost like I say, I'm going to be there for him. It's nothing that he's going to go through, or my daughter that they're going to go through, that I'm not going to be able to discuss it with them, talk through it with them, let them understand what the bad things that come from that or what's the good things. But I'm not going to beat them over the head. Like I said, I'm going to make sure that they trust me. And that's what they did in the Shy. I got to throw it back to that, because they showed you every scenario of fatherhood, man, from smoking, from looking at pornography, from looking at cheating.
Right.
They gave you every scenario possible that a father and son relationship goes through that so many of us don't understand. that is what's needed is for fathers, because man, just a little more conversation. And don't get it wrong, I can't say this. I don't think our fathers knew how, because they didn't get talked to by their fathers,
right?
Because maybe their father was in the field picking cotton. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. So I know that my father didn't get a lot of conversation. So that's what
that's what he knew.
That's what he knew. That's what it was. Hey, you don't need to be talked to. You don't. Hey, it ain't nothing. Man up. Do what I tell you.
You're gonna be all right. Right. Keep it moving,
man.
Keep moving. That's why I said it goes back to, again, we can't. That's why I said some things that was done back then may not work now, or was it even healthy?
Boy, you keep on hitting on something. Was it even healthy? Because you got to look at it now. Back then, when we weren't getting talked to, we didn't have nothing to go to but outside or TV.
We didn't have much TV. Your mama or somebody was watching TV.
Was watching the TV.
Or you gonna watch what she watched.
You gonna watch All My Children or watch, one of them stories they made us watch. How many of y'all brothers out there had to watch some All My Children and As the World Turns?
My mom watched nothing but scary movies. Man,
I'm
up under the bed, scared. I don't know what, man. I'm talking about Damien and all this old stuff. The Exorcist. Man, I was 5 and 6. Hey, man, terrified as a child, man.
Listen, so just imagine if we would have had a tablet or a cell phone, man.
That's who's raising them.
That's who's raising them.
That's who's raising them.
So,
and there ain't nothing positive about it,
man.
And so if I know that's your attention, because again, the younger you got them, the longer you got them,
man.
Right. So I understand that the younger I got you, the longer I got you, and the younger you are, the more influence, the easier to influence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so all this music and everything is targeted toward these kids, they're easier. And I got you long. So if I can determine what this looks like now, we can predict the future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So y'all, we done threw some good stuff at this topic on tonight, y'all. But we really, y'all want to one day will we ever be looked at as equals, man? That's my question.
No.
Do you think we'll ever be looked at as equals in America?
No, not in the world. No, absolutely not.
So it's not
absolutely. And I used to have, because I'm one of those people. I love everybody. I don't even see color, right? I don't see color, but I'm be honest. This last few years has tested my what's the word I'm looking for? My trust in people. Now I have to look at you a little longer. Now I don't trust you as easy, right? Now you have to show me that you're not that. At first I was more welcoming, I was more opening, right, to any, but now, because I've seen what it is. And I don't want to be naive to anything.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And it's sad, man. It's sad.
I hate to even bring this into the conversation because so many people are using this on their platforms. But I have to say that this Nolan Wells situation has really it's brought some hurt to my heart because, like I say, I love my other cultures. I love my Latino family, my European family. I love everyone, and Raymond, love them all. But to watch what's going on with this Nolan Wells case, and I don't know what's true and what's not true. I'm not gonna sit on here and act like I know what's going on totally, but I know that it's something not right. And for the way, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. You can say what you want to say about it because we're almost about to get off this L tonight. But I'm gonna say this: it has let me know that if you cannot tamper with evidence, first of all, when it comes to nothing, because it's a law that says if you even tamper with evidence, you can get up to 20 years in prison if you even tamper with evidence. Now, for any evidence to be tampered with and for the young men not to at least be brought in for questioning, because if it was me and you,
if it was our sons, our grandsons, if our nephews,
like we were saying, our color, those boys would not have even made it home. They would have still been locked up into the autopsy was done. They would have kept them there just to scare them. And I'm that's all I'm gonna say about it, y'all. But what it has done for me, y'all, it has made me realize that okay, we do have evil people in the world that don't understand that we bleed the same red color blood.
If I need a heart, they ain't gonna say if you black or white. If I need an organ, they ain't gonna say if you black or white.
So similar on the inside, but just because of our melanin.
The color, baby. That color, that's a bad, hey, that's pretty too. Hey, man, it's bad too.
I look at it too and I say it's beautiful.
Hey, man. Hey, man. But to speak to the Nolan thing, I have to distance myself a lot of times with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. Because I get caught up in it. I know a couple of incidents with the young boy that got killed a while ago. Excuse me for not remembering what's the young boy?
I know Nolan, but you talking about the young man
with the judge? What's the
George Floyd?
George Floyd. That took me out. And then what's the other young boy that the guy killed? Talking about he was secured around the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So anyway, so with that, man, it took me mentally and emotionally out, bro. I had to get off social media. That type of stuff eats at me. I'm drawn into that. My emotions, my energy switches to that, and I'm drawn into it, and I start feeling that pain.
That's hate sometimes, and I cannot stand feeling hate in my heart, bro.
And it hurts though. It hurts me. It hurts. It's not even me, but it hurts to know for other people, my culture, my brother, my sister, my cousin, my neighbors, anybody. Look, I know what it is, and it hurts me to know that anybody can treat it like this. Just with, man, Dad, bruh. Listen, man, I had to get off social media for 3 months.
Wow.
Because emotionally, man, it eats me. Because I say it all the time, if I was born back in the 50s and early when they was doing it, I'd be dead.
Yeah, right I say the same thing.
I'm not saying it because I'm a bad dude, because I'm not, right? I don't go out and thinking that, but I always take up for other people.
Yeah.
I've always done that.
Yeah.
Even when I was younger, I would step up and try to, I might get beat up. But
I'm
going to step up for somebody else.
Fight somebody you see being bullied or something like that.
Yeah. I've always been that person.
Yeah.
So I know back then, been the same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So y'all, we want to say thank you all for just joining us tonight, y'all. Table for Two has been an amazing show. Like I say, y'all, we brainstorm these things and we think about, topics that's going to enlighten, but as well bring us into power, bring us into, some type of situation to where you understand what black men are thinking and how can you be a part to make black men better. So like I say, y'all can't celebrate the black man's culture while ignoring the black man's humanity, you all. Don't just love what we produce, y'all. Don't just love how we entertain you. Don't just love the sound, y'all. Don't just love the style and the swagger. See the fathers in us. See the sons in us, you all. See the husbands in us. Also see the brothers, because these two brothers right here, y'all, we're about to make a difference out here, y'all. We're about to do some things that's going to impact and change. He's already wrote a book, you all, this enlightening people, period. And I'm gonna let him in on tonight. I'm just giving y'all my last take before I let my bro in. But join us. Give us topics that y'all want to talk about, and just let us know what y'all want to hear. We love you all. You've been listening to WFTB 104.1 FM, Tab Nashville Gospel Radio. Raymond, take us out with Table for Two and tell us what the people you want to say on tonight.
Table for Two, guys. Again, thank you for tuning in. As Ted has stated, I just see us as human. I'm a human being. That's all. If you can see me at that, then I think everybody would be great.
That's good.
Right? And so with that being said too, man, appreciate the shout out for the book. Hey guys, it's a great book. If you're looking, I always say life is about, we find purpose again, is the key to life, right? And fulfillment. And life is about doing something that gives you fulfillment back. That's what life is about. At the end of the day, when I say how powerful that is, I can't say it enough. But anybody that's walking in purpose or is living a fulfillment, purpose life, living a life, they can speak 1,000 words to it, right? Again, Thank everybody for joining us again. We're going to be different topics. We want to make a difference. At the end of the day, if we're not doing that, then we're failing, right? So we're going to need you guys to go ahead and give us topics, right? And engage and interact, right, with certain things. Again, we're going to have guests on here, right? We want to, grow. How can we grow, make us better men? Because if we make better men, then our culture and our women and our kids and everybody else is going to be better, right? So the foundation, y'all said the men is the backbone and the foundation. Well, we got to start with us.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's what Table 2 is about, man. Appreciate you. Subscribe. We're going to have a YouTube channel coming up this week. And so we're going to have Table 2. It's going to be a YouTube channel with that. Appreciate you, man.
And always, y'all, Sacrificial Conversation. This will be recorded also. This is another one of our platforms. So Sacrificial Conversation, go look. That's where it's going to be at first. But like you said, we're coming with a whole nother vibe with this thing, y'all, because we really, really, really want to push this thing. Y'all be blessed out there.
Pull up a chair, let the real talk flow. Life got lessons, yeah, we letting them show. From the highs to the lows, we keep it true. Real men, real life. Welcome to Table for Two. Hey.